Hello, good morning and welcome back to the Harmony Hub here. What I'm going to do today, I'm going to do a very simple, nice little soup. I've got some local, some of the vegetables from our garden and some other bits and bobs that we've put together. It's just very simple, very basic and very wholesome, this soup. So today I'm going to use asparagus, some garlic and some rosemary in there in the soup. Get a base stock on there and get it boiled up and then thicken it with the potato as well. So what I'm going to do first of all, what I've done already actually, should I say, is I've chopped some onion up, some garlic and some celery. I've washed it as well beforehand, and then what I've done as well is I've took the bottoms off the asparagus and I've washed the spring onions and the carrots ready. I leave the skin on the carrots because I think it gives the flavour, especially in the soup as well. So what I've done is I've got a pan on here on boil. So that's gently warming away. So what I like to do on a very simple soup like this is just basically put everything in and bring it up to the boil. So we put the celery in first, some onion, the onion there, and 2 cloves of garlic there, chopped up, put that in there. What I'll do now is I'll get the carrots, so I'll just leave the bottoms on. The tops I will take the tops off because you don't want them in there. But just keep them on with the skin. And we'll put the tops in there. Basically just put them in. And then we put the spring onions as well, just to take the bottoms off them. You don't want them in the soup. So I've washed these already, so there's no grit in there or dirt. It's loosely chopped. Don't worry about making things nice and neat. It's just going to go in the soup. So what I'll do now is I've got some potatoes here that I've kept in water. I've peeled them and chopped them up into little cubes. Get the cold water off them, just stop them from going brown while I'm preparing. Put them in, so that goes in the water as well. And what we do then is I have 2 stock cubes, vegetable stock cubes. Just put them in there and they'll just slowly release while they're in there as well. I'll put the lid on, and what I'll do now is I'll leave that to boil for about, and when it comes to the boil I'll leave it for about 30 minutes to 35 minutes until the potatoes start to soften. Then I'll add the asparagus and the rosemary and let that boil again for another further 5 to 10 minutes, okay? So while I leave this to boil, what I'm going to do is I'll just go through a couple of things you can add to it to make it a different soup. So basically what I've just shown you there is a very basic soup mix. So while it's boiling away, if you're going to put something like a butternut squash in there, obviously take the skin off, take the seeds out, chop that up into the same sort of size as we would a potato, add it at the same time because it'll take about the same amount of time to cook. If you're going to do something like, I don't know, some spinach in there, things like that, very, very quick cooking things, I will add them last minute what we're going to do is we're going to blitz the soup. So we're going to get a hand blender, we're going to blitz it so it goes to a nice smooth soup and very, not so thick. Other things you could put in there, you could put mushrooms in there, so you could put the mushrooms in there now, half in now, let them cook off, and then just before it's finished, put some more mushrooms in so you get that intense flavour of the mushroom as well. There's many things. If you want to make it into a chicken soup, you would put the chicken in there. You know, there's many variations, but you've got to always remember, if you're going to put something in that takes longer to cook, put it at the same time. Anything that's going to be quick to cook, like leaves, asparagus, you know, these things, these cook very quickly. So what you want to do, you don't want to lose the flavour from them by boiling them out, because they'll just take all the flavour out of them. So you know, just be aware of that, okay? Right, what I'm going to do now, I've left this boil for about 30-35 minutes. The potatoes and things are starting to soften and the carrots. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add the asparagus. Don't drop it on the floor like that, just So that goes in there, mix that around a bit. What that'll do is it'll drop the heat out the oven, so we're just going to bring it back up again to heat. Now with the rosemary, I've just pulled it off the main very chewy stalk bit, so don't put that in there, just pull it down. Basically, all you do with this is you get hold of it at the top and just pull it down like that, and that's what happens. You get left with the stalk and you get little bits with the rosemary. Okay, I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to put that around there, bring that back up to the boil then, and leave it for about another 5 or 10 minutes to cook away. Okay. Right, now what I've done is I've left this to boil back up for another 10 minutes, and you can see it's all nice and hot there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use a step blender, and basically I'm just going to put this into a puree, okay? So it's just nice and steady, not at fast speed, keep it on an angle, but right near the bottom, but don't let the blade obviously hit the bottom. So just like this. What I'm going to do now, I'm halfway through pureeing the soup. I'll get a bit of salt. And I'm going to use some pepper as well. I've got a bit of cayenne pepper here, but you can use normal pepper, black pepper, white pepper. Not too much, just enough to give it a nice little peppery taste to it. Okay. Right, so what I've done now is I've blended it now to the puree that I want, the consistency. And if you can look there, it looks nice and smooth. Right, as you see, I've put the soup there ready, and I've got some nice little crusty little buns there to go with this as well, ideal for dipping into the soup. So like I say, let's just go through that again. So what I've done today is it's an asparagus, rosemary and garlic soup, made with and thickened with the potatoes, carrots, celery, and the onions and what have you as well. Okay, so I put the salt and the cayenne pepper, but like I said to you, you can put you know, just a nice black ground pepper, or you can do white pepper as well. So enjoy your soup, enjoy your bread, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you.